What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We're checking back in. We got our On the Dot PGA live stream coming at you guys here on another Tuesday evening. We have the Players Championship to dive into. One of the best tournaments of the year, the deepest field that you will see, the fifth major, as they all say. How are we feeling tonight, Teaser?
Good. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite tournaments of the year. I was there last year. It was definitely anyone watching. If you haven't been, it's a great experience. It was definitely a lot of fun. Kind of sad I'm not going back this year, but it'll be good to watch on TV. Yeah, besides the majors, besides the Masters, this is probably one of my favorites of the year. So looking forward to it. We got the biggest field of the year. Just a brief recap, event session from last week. Arnold Palmer.
We always
I'm salty I wasn't on Russell Henley because this one's frustrating. We talked about it all week.
Yeah.
Frustrated I wasn't on Henley because that's my guy. I didn't expect him to win in a field like this, but congrats to him on that. Chip and eagle, he deserved it. And then just Rory, man, we both had him. It's just frustrating. First 2 days, it's like when I'm not on Rory, he's literally Tiger Woods 2.0. When I'm on Rory, cannot hit a wedge shot to save his life. So he did nothing on the weekend. He was literally right there all week. He just didn't do anything. Couldn't hit a wedge to save his life. So that's how the week went. So hopefully better this week with outrights. But
yeah, and it started off hot. We got our first 2-ball action for round one. Hit that. One of the legs voided, but we got 3 out of 4 hit on that. So we got 3 balls coming up there, and then we got. And then I went heavy Rory Saturday. We were, me and Teaser were texting each other, and we're like, Rory's it's too good of a number against Scotty, and Scotty wasn't even playing that. He wasn't playing great. He didn't have that great. He wasn't putting great.
No.
But Rory was putting, out of his ass really. So we're
he was putting well.
Go Rory, and then even go low on his round because he was still hitting 70 and 70, and he was under 70 and a half, or whatever. And then just his back nine was just horrific. Those last 3 holes, I mean, I threw my hands up and I was like, Rory, you could be so much better, but he just lost it. So not a good Saturday following Rory, but then we've had Shane. We bounced back with Shane Lowry round score on Sunday. That was the freest of the freest cash. I mean, it was under 72 and a half, and I think he shot a 69 or something like that. So easy money there. And then we also cashed. I was on Henley's top 20. Like I said, I didn't expect him to win either. I was on Lowry's top 20. So my 2 heavy 1-unit plays hit that. Thigala was horrific. Didn't make the cut. He was like one of the 10 people that missed the cut. And then my outrights, I had Finau sniffing up there at 60 to 1, and then just could not get over the hump. But
he's another guy, man. It's just like right when he gets there, he falls. It's just the putter goes away. But it was other than that, like same with me, matchups. I had Henley and Connors in tournament matchups, so obviously they saw first and third. So that was a good week,
Mm-hmm.
And then just another guy to piggyback off of, man, JT. I can't do it. That is the most. That couldn't be more frustrating than Rory. Guy starts 4 over, 2 double bogeys on 3 putts from 5 feet, and then he goes off. He's literally in the lead. Comes to the weekend, and then once it does what he always does now is just fall.
That was a roller coaster of emotions because I was trying to talk you off of him, and then he did really well. I mean, horrible off the gate, but then really, really well. And I'm like, man, I'm about to eat my words.
You just wait till Saturday. Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be here for about 25 more minutes. If you guys have any questions over the Players Championship, we will dive into the course, TPC Sawgrass, who we should be, what attributes we should be targeting, what stats. Even though this week I would say it's a wide open tournament due to any type of player can win at TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah.
I would say there is one common theme, and you have to be accurate, both approach, both off the tee. So we'll dive into that. We'll get into our outrights. We'll get into our replacements, and we'll go through our tournament matchups. I totally forgot what I even picked last week. Do you remember what we did?
I remember mine. I think I lost. I had Pendrith over Ben Griffin, and Pendrith missed the cut. So
Totally I'm gonna have to remind myself next time to look. But what do you call it? So we will go through our. We'll end with our tournament matchups. Talk about some one and dones and some DFS strategy. As this is, like I said, it's a huge field, and the pricing is soft on DK. So you're going to see a lot of stars and scrub lineups. Maybe the more balanced approach, depending on what type of line or what type of contest you're in, might determine that. So let's get into it. Teaser, break down TPC Sawgrass for us.
Yeah. So, I mean, everyone is familiar with the course, so I won't go too much in depth. It's really, like you kind of said, all Pete Dye courses are more positional courses, so it doesn't favor any type of player. We see a lot of guys win here over the years. A lot of water hazards, so it can be pretty volatile here if you're, not sharp off the tee. Greenside bunkers kind of mitigate the longer hitters and undulations. Rewards elite approach play and short game. Got to be good around the greens. Top 10 course history here. Hideki, which I'll kind of talk about in a little bit. Siwoo, Scotty, obviously. Fleetwood, who you'll see a lot this week on every card. Day, JT, Xander, Harmon, who's always great here. Bezadenhout, and Aberg. And he only played once, so that's pretty crazy. He had a top 10 last year, Aberg. So just a couple course comps. Harbor Town, TPC River Highlands most resemble Sawgrass. Overlapping leaderboards at all those, kind of need accuracy off the tee, crafty around the greens. And then another trend I looked up was kind of crossover winners from the Sony Open in Hawaii. So we saw Cam Smith win both and a couple other guys. So two guys who fit that trend, Hideki and Nick Taylor, who both won Sony Open as well. Key stats, like you kind of mentioned, off the tee is pretty important. Strokes gain approach. Birdies are better is what I'm looking at. And then, because I think this one should be kind of more of a birdie fest, it's going to be a little more soft, a little bit of wind on the weekend, but not too much.
Right.
And then the thing going around on, there's just one thing, whoever's watching, if you want to kind of look, I think 14 out of the last 16 winners were an AM, PM wave advantage. So Thursday, early morning, Friday afternoon. The only ones that were late early were Tiger Woods in 13 and Keimer in 14. So that's like 10 years ago at this point.
That's just a wild trend that,
it's crazy.
You wouldn't think it'd be that distinctive an advantage, but hell.
Yeah. So, and then really just a couple others. It kind of harps on recent form, the players. It's not going to be a mysterious guy who comes in who's not. It's guys who are, hot on the season. So 15 out of the 16 winners have a previous best finish of T23 at Sawgrass. So last year, the only exception was Scheffler. The last 8 winners had a T33 or better in the previous start. So everyone who played in the Arnold Palmer, the one before that. And then the last 6 winners finished T5 or better at an event in 3 months prior to the players. So just a few guys that kind of fit that trend. Aaron Rai, Aberg, Russ Henley, Matsuyama, Lowry, Day, Straka, Connors, and Bezzy. So just a few things to kind of look at there.
I like it. All right, yeah. And like I said before, I'm going to be favoring accuracy off the tee, strokes gained approach over a lot of different factors here this week, mainly focusing on driving accuracy or strokes gained total for total driving. But you have a course here. If you miss, you're going to get penalized. And there's a ton of there's a good amount of water. It's not as much as the last few weeks, but obviously you got 17 with the island. But that only kind of amplifies it down the stretch. So I think a lot of 3 balls are going to be interesting this week when you have you're thinking you're all good, or you might be down a couple strokes and then boom, your guy goes in the water on 17 and you got a chance, or
even 18.
Your guy just blew it, or an 18, So that I think those 3 balls are going to be pretty interesting this week. But yeah, so on that note, let's dive into the outrights. So real quick, we got Scotty, who went from, what was he, like plus 270 to win, then it was plus 300 last week, and now he's plus 400. So he's coming back up odds wise. I kind of like him. I mean, not obviously kind of like him, but I kind of like that number, as I think it could be your only shot at him this week at that number, uh, as he posts a pretty good number for round one. What do you think of Scotty this week? We always have to start the show with Scotty because we never ever did last year, and then he would win every
Yeah.
tournament. So we had to at least briefly touch on him.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a PM in the morning, but he's obviously won that before
Yeah.
having that. But I mean, I don't think you can live bet it because the books aren't really going to move him from 4-1, even if someone goes like 9 under before he starts. So,
Mhm.
I mean, last week, like I think he was first in the field again, ball striking and off the tee, and he comes 11th. Of course, I pick him top 10 for a thing I was in, but anyways, the putting, he obviously lost a lot putting wise. So I don't know. It's tough. He's going to lap the field again, ball striking. You know that's going to happen every week. Here, that's pretty important, but like you still got to make the putt. So it's a little tough to like take him at 4-1, just knowing that he hasn't been like his sharp self. So
Yeah,
or on the green. So I don't know. I don't know.
I'm kind of interested because he's not crazy high owned. He's 12-8 on DK. I mean, I've seen him almost sniff 14s when he was playing pretty well, but I think 12-8 in this, and he's coming in right at 35% ownership. You're going to probably see that. I would think it would kind of back off a little bit, but man, if he stays at 35%, it's going to be hard to get to that. Even though I think obviously he's back-to-back winner here, the course is perfect for him.
Yeah.
It's just you always have to come with that 12-8 price tag on DFS, and then it comes with a ton of ownership too. So it just depends on what type of contest you're in. If you're playing high risk, if you want to play Scotty, you're going to have to pair him with someone very, very low owned, and so you can be a little bit different from someone else, so you don't get duped on that end. If you're playing low risk, I think Scotty can pretty much be a shoo-in for you. But yeah, so not much other than top fives, top tens. I mean, there's no way to bet Scotty Scheffler besides taking his outright 4-1. So
Yeah.
or first round leader, whatever you want to do there. And then we got Rory, Morikawa, Oberg, Thomas, Xander, and Fleetwood to round out to 10-1s to 30-1s. What stands out to you there?
I mean, really, I'm sure Rory plays well this week. He always does. I'll be off him, and he'll be back to Tiger Woods form. Morikawa, he had played great last week. Just wouldn't take the 14 on him. Once again, he couldn't finish the job, so that's tough to take. I think I'm going to start. I got on Bet365 a boost, so I think I got Aberg at 23-1. So he was 18-23 on Bet365. I think that's kind of the guy I'm going to start with. I mean, I'm never really on him, but he fits a lot of the trends. Obviously, he won 2-3 weeks ago, whenever it was. Doesn't really. I mean, he's 25th in a mile just because of the fact he was really bad when he was sick. 10th strokes gained course history. I think he had an 8th last year. Here off the tee, short courses, he's 13th, and then 20th birdies or better. So I look forward to him. He's kind of rough on the greens as well sometimes, where he just makes a lot of sloppy bogeys, like 4-footers missed. So if he can kind of clean some of that stuff up from last week, I think he should be a good play this week.
Oh man, I don't know. I was on him last week.
Yeah, and he was sloppy, and he was good on Sunday.
And he still finished 22nd last week, and he just around the green was horrific.
Yeah.
His scrambling was, I've never seen it as worse than it's been, but I think that's because of his approach play being so bad. So that's my only alarm, because he lost 2 strokes last week. Approach, I mean, he's usually a robot with that. So that's my only concern. Maybe he's messing something with his swing, and it's just not quite there before the Masters, because I think I'm going to fire him up for the Masters. So
yeah, for sure.
But Morikawa, cover boy, I really want to play him, but I was very, very disappointed the way he finished that tournament last week.
Yeah.
There's not much value in top 20. If you want to take a top 10, I'm okay with that. JT at 22-1 is intriguing, but again, it's Justin Thomas, and
he's won here, but
he's won here before, correct? I just don't see it again this time. I think he plays well. He's up there somewhere on Sunday. He's anywhere, maybe he's sniffing top 20. But again, it's not a good value top 20 there. I think Xander at 22 to 1 is criminal. Anytime you can get Xander at 22 to 1 is criminal. However, it's there for a reason. I just don't think he's fully healthy, plain and simple.
Right.
And he was played by himself on Sunday, shot like 3 or 4 under, and you can kind of play that narrative that he got to play by himself because there was, I don't know, an odd number of people. Played a very sharp, crisp round on Sunday, feeds into some confidence throughout the week, and does pretty well to start this weekend off at the Players. So 22 to 1 isn't terrible. I just don't know if he can do it over the course of 4 rounds currently, health-wise. And then Fleetwood at 28 to 1. But I think we said before the stream, Hideki and Fleetwood should have been switched. I can't believe I would rather have Hideki 30 to 1 than Fleetwood. But I think Fleetwood top 20 is very free money, in my opinion, very free. So that'll probably make my card. And then we roll into Henley, Cantlay, Lowry, Straka, and Bradley. What do you got there?
Yeah, I mean, we'll start with Hideki in that group, like we talked about. It's criminal that Fleetwood's above him in an outright market. That's because everyone just hammered Fleetwood down. I don't get it. But yeah, I think I'll be on Hideki 30 to 1. Another guy I'm not really ever on. 4th in the model. I think he fits a lot of like the trends. Another streaky guy. He's shown a little bit of recent form, like par 5 average. He's top 20. First strokes gained course history, so he's the best in the model at TBC Sawgrass. 9th strokes gained Florida swing. 11 strokes gained tee to green. Once again, with him, it's really the putting. It is a little scary. At API last week, he did lose strokes approach, and the ball striking wasn't there. Around the greens, he was good, which he usually is. So I'm not really looking for – he hit the T22, and he hit the ball pretty poorly for his standards. So I'm not really looking into that. Genesis Invitational, he had a T13. So, the recent form's somewhat there. But, at a course where off the tee, this positional course where you need, your irons, I think I like them this week to, top 10 or get up there for a win.
Right. And then we got, in that round, I'm still ticked to myself for Henley. And you could take him back 35 to 1, he ain't going to win. But I could see him being up there top 20, top 10s plus 280. Cantlay is just Cantlay again, but he does everything well. If you look at a model and you look at all the stats that you need, Cantlay pops in those.
What's crazy is he doesn't have a top 20 here in like 7 tries. It's actually crazy.
Right.
He's very bad for some reason.
But if you go to any model, he's top 10. Everything that you would need. So it's like this. It's deceiving. You kind of have to look at it. The last 3 times he's played, he's lost almost close to 10 strokes approach wise.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, -3, then a +4, and then a -6. And he's got cut. He's got 3 cuts in a row, then T19 and a tied for 68th. So just tough. I think it's a tough call there with Cantlay. If you're playing DFS, I don't think he's coming in at like 9 or 10% ownership. Maybe a good pivot there, but just someone it's tough to get to at 40 to 1. Obviously, I think you're going to lean more to the Lowrys and the Strakas at 40 and 45 to 1. I think I'll be playing Lowry top 20 again, just kind of ride the hot hand here.
Yeah.
I don't think he could win, but I do think, especially if those winds pick up, he makes the cut. Saturday, I've seen 20 to 25 mile an hour winds, so he should be able to make some moves on Saturday. Hopefully he can get to that particular day. But, Lowry, top 10 in the model here, and I'll pull that up real quick. But, you got Lowry at 7, Straka at 6. You're going to see a lot of those two throughout golf Twitter here.
Look at Straka, man. Like his par 5 average, his strokes gained total last 36 rounds. He might be one of like the hottest players outside of Henley on tour right now. So,
and what did he finish last week?
Fifth. It was like
It was
back,
fifth, yeah.
kind of a backdoor.
Backdoored it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started 5 over after Thursday, but I mean it's impressive golf that he's playing. So I personally like the 50-1 on him as well. So
So yeah, we got those guys. Bradley had the round of his life on Sunday. So you could use that particular narrative. You know, a lot of people like to go that route where you look at who played well on Sunday. Maybe they found something coming into the next tournament. So that's always something you can use. But at 50-1, I just think in this type of a tournament, you're not going to see a heavy, or you're going to see more of the chalk creep to the top rather than an outlier. But we'll get to some guys that we like. Connors at 55-1, and then you have Spieth, Day, and Clark, Siwoo Kim, Berger, Robbie Mack, all at 60-1. Anybody stick out to you there?
I mean, the two I think that stick out to me is Jason Day, and I mean you can talk about Siwoo because I think you like him, but Jason Day, I mean, once again another guy who's kind of trending. He kind of fell apart there at the end of Sunday afternoon last week, but a tied 8th there. Usually pretty good here, I believe. I think he's top 10 course history wise, strokes gained. It's more like in 2018, 2019 when he was kind of world number 1 when he was winning here and top 10ing. But yeah, another guy who's been kind of in good form. I think he just got back with his old coach. Saw an interview about that. So just like some reading about that, his putting and his swing, feeling a lot more comfortable. So that's always good to hear. I think he's trending in the right direction as well. So 60 on him is pretty good.
Yeah, and Dave, he played horrible round 1. He even said it. He was like, I was so bad. And then round 2, he shoots -8. And I'm like, the heck? I was expecting him to just miss the cut, be done with it. And now he's up in Sunday is the second to last group. And I'm like, man. Yeah. So maybe a 60-1 there is pretty good odds for Jason Day. My favorite for 60-1, like you said, is Siwoo Kim. A lot of people are going to be on Daniel Berger. I prefer Siwoo. Course history has got to be up there. I mean, he's got a win, T9, T6. He had to withdraw one time. Otherwise, he's made the cut every single time.
Yeah.
Plus his recent form, and you got 12th, 21st, 24th, 19th last week at the Palmer.
I mean, good.
He's hitting on all forms and checks out on a lot of the good metrics here. He's 13th in the model, so just outside the top 10. I think a 60-1 here on Siwoo is not out of the question. Probably depending on the group that he's in. I haven't looked at my 3 balls yet, but I played him twice. I was almost going to play him 3 times for my 2 balls last week, and I'll probably go right back to him. But Siwoo makes a lot of sense to me this week. All right, so we keep going down. You got Michael Kim, McNeely, Finau, Aaron Rai, Willie Z, Hovland, Burns, and Tom Kim. I think those are pretty intriguing. Who do you think stands out to you the most?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see a lot of Michael Kim this week. I mean, his run's got to end soon, but that guy's playing some crazy golf. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll be on him top 20 this week or a top 10. I mean, he's literally cashing a top 10 every week. So
yeah, I think the people at DraftKings literally forgot that Michael Kim is one of the hottest golfers, and they priced him at $5,900 this week. So.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of people on Michael Kim.
Oh, yeah,
you're gonna see a lot of Scotties, Michael Kim's lineups, and then maybe get different somewhere else. But yeah, Michael Kim at $5,900 is pretty much criminal.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, out of that group, I think I like him the most. Finau. I don't think we know he doesn't win the big ones. Aaron Rai, you'll see a lot of people on it. It fits just because the long iron game, the irons. I can't see him winning the Players. Zalatoris, we need to see some form from him.
Yeah,
kind of haven't seen much from him. Hovland, another guy I've seen a lot of this week. He's just a guy. He's going to come out of nowhere one of these tournaments, and we're going to be like, that's who he is. So it could be this week, but I can't take him without any form. So
that's the name of the game for DFS. So you
Yeah.
always want to be early, right?
Yeah.
And everything says don't play him. Everything, every metric you look at, and you're like, man, Victor, you are it's bad. Bad news bears.
Mhm.
But at 70-1, I said this pre-stream to you, who has the most upside? And it's gotta be him. He could be there on Sunday and no one bats an eye. No, everyone's like, yep, that's the talent that he has. Obviously, his form is horrific.
Right.
However, he likes playing here. He's got good course history. He's got cut in 21, 22. He's got the 9th, and then the 23rd he was 3rd.
Yeah.
And then last year he was 62nd. So a little bit of drop off because around the green he was horrific last year. But strokes gained on approach from 22 and 23, he gained 16 strokes.
Yeah.
On approach.
Yeah.
And if you get anything like that from Victor this week, 70-1 is the steal of the tournament.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying you're going to probably, if you take him, put $10 on him, depending on what your bankroll is. 10, 15, $20, whatever. Just be cautious and just bet it and don't even look at it for the whole rest of the tournament. Just don't even worry about it.
Until he's there. Yeah.
Likely he's going to miss the cut. More than likely.
Right.
But just in case, you never know.
Yeah.
And his ownership right now is like 5% in DK. I got to think that trick, goes up a little bit. But he just has the most upside of anybody down here at the end of the leaderboard, of the outright board. So don't get, I know I think one of our guests asked about Victor last week or the week before, and we were like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But this week, it makes a little bit more sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as we go down the leaderboard, do you have any long shot, 100-1 plus odds that would be a good take here?
We'll start with 90-1.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you can always sprinkle Brian Harmon here. I obviously, I don't think I'm going to do an outright, but I always do like a top 20 on him every year here, maybe get him in a tournament matchup. So, I mean, last year he got tied second, played amazing, 21 tied third, 44, 63rd, and 8th. So I think he has like 4 top 10s here.
Mm-hmm.
Just another course that really fits him, just, short off the tee, positional. Good putter. So yeah, he can make the birdies when needed. It's kind of the comp course to River Highlands at the Travelers, so he always plays well there. He has his few courses where he plays well, so he's always a great sprinkle. And then I feel like my last outright, which I kind of love this week with all the trends that I mentioned before, and that's Nick Taylor. Just another guy who kind of randomly pops up. 110 to me is kind of crazy on a guy who actually has some win equity. We've seen this year he's already won. So I don't know his form here. Let me double check. I mean, he hasn't really ever played well here. 2 top 20s maybe. That's about it. But it's kind of one of those streaky guys who kind of can get hot. 31st last week, a 9th at Genesis. So and a win this year. So he's been playing some good golf. Fits a lot of the trends for this week. So, a little $10 play on him, $5 for at 110 is pretty good.
And my long shot is just, it's always fun taking these. Doug Gim at 100-1. 100-1. He plays well here. He's played here 4 times, has 29th, 6th, 16th, and a missed cut. And if you look at his recent form, everything is great, but the putter is absolutely, it's like he's putting blindfold.
Yeah, I mean, he had the cognizant in the bag if he could have just putt that Sunday. Like literally, he was lapping the field in approach.
Yeah, except then he wants to lose 4 strokes at the cognizant. But he's gained 10 strokes tee to green. Yeah, I mean, so unreal approach. Strokes gained approach 8, 2.5, 6.5, 3, 1.8. I mean, so that's his last 5 tournaments. But his putting -2, -1.3, -10 at the Pebble Beach.
-10.
-10. How the hell do you do that? That's literally playing blindfold.
Yeah.
However, the putting is such a big variant, such a big variable that you can see regression go back into his favor here, especially if he's in the fairway while a lot of people are scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
He has a better approach games than most on tour. I mean, 100-1 sprinkle. Like I said, it's 100-1 sprinkle. That's probably as deep as I'll go into the outright. So let's go into our matchups to finish it off. We got you got tournament matchups you're looking at?
Yeah, usually they had these out fast this week. Two, I don't know about the one for the stream yet, but I'm gonna have two. I'm gonna kind of pick between definitely the first one, Harmon over at the Gala -130. I mean, he played poorly last week, missed a cut. His game is not there at the moment. Obviously, He's kind of more of a streaky guy as well, but I'll kind of take Harmon at a course he loves over at the Gala.
Man, one that I want to fade.
Yeah.
I just want to fade Michael Kim and just take Jordan Spieth +100.
I know.
I really want to, but that would be my, just bet like a half unit on that thing. But
yeah, it's tough. I think he could be a fade too. Like he's got to chill.
He's got to cool. Right? He's got to calm down. You got to. Man,
I really don't mind that one. It's just like if it was anyone except other than Spieth, I probably would be on it. It's just like Spieth. He has some recent form, I guess, though, with his last outing at Cognizant.
I like Day over Wyndham.
Yeah,
I think that's my tournament stream. Day over Wyndham. Case in point, Wyndham is a mental midget this past weekend, and he could not drive, and he could not get off the tee box. So if that's the same Wyndham we're going to get here, this is going to be a cakewalk here. So give me Jason Day. It's a little bit juiced, -130, but I'll go Jason Day over Wyndham Clark.
Yeah, I'm in between. I do love Harmon over at the Gala, but I think there's one more. I think that's a little bit safer, and I'm going to kind of branch out a bit because we don't really talk about these guys. But I'm actually going to go Bezadenhout over Dietrich -120.
Bezzy.
We didn't talk about Dietrich at all, but he's actually been horrendous since he's won at Waste Management. If you look at his form is horrible coming in right now. Bezzy's he's just kind of like a Harmon around here. He loves, the positional short courses, so he has great form here. Love that matchup. So I'll go with Bezzy over Dietrich.
I like it. And Siwoo Kim -140 over Pendrith. I mean, that's
all of them are juiced this week.
Yeah, there's a lot of juice.
It's tough.
Berger over Tom Kim -130. That's pretty wild.
Pretty juiced, yeah.
But
your guy Doug Gim over Ben Griffin. You always count me in to fade Ben Griffin.
Yeah, -115. Might as well. But no, I like Bezzy. Bezzy is a good one. He played well last week.
He did. Yeah, he has some recent form. He's he's grinder course. He also loves these short courses. So
yeah.
Also another one I was thinking before we head off here is like Cantley +115 over Xander. That's tough to take, but like if you want to play that angle, what do you think about that?
If you play the Xander, you're hurt angle for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's a very, very good likelihood Xander could miss the cut here. Very good likelihood. Yeah. So I like that. Cantlay's top 10 in the model. I don't even know where Xander's at. He's got to be. He's 17th, so it's not too far off. But recent form is definitely there. So all right, I like that.
Yeah.
So we'll go through those, and if you make sure you tune in Wednesday to our Twitter, X, whatever they call it now. Yeah. We will post our outrights, placements, tournament matchups, or whatnot, and then in the Discord is where you'll get round matchups, 3-ball parlays, round scores, whatever edge we try to find throughout the weekend, those will be in the Discord. And that is, we're going to be running a March Madness special here shortly for Sharp Bros. We have, I think, what is it, 6 or 7 days until no, probably 5 days until Selection Sunday. So we'll be running something here shortly. So if you want to wait for a little promo code to get half off or whatnot, I don't know if we're going to go half off, but if you want to wait, get a little discount, make sure you guys join the Sharp Bros Discord. We got like 3 or 4 cappers in there. One of the best communities in all of the betting industry. All right. And then if you want to check out all of Teasers, check out Bet with the Boys Discord. You guys have anything coming up promo wise?
I don't think so. I'm just, still in the Discord. I can, if anyone wants the weekly cards. I think this year we're up, around 15 to 20 units so far, just based off that Harris English outright and doing good on tournament match or, tournament cards. So if you ever links in the Twitter bio, hopefully we're a little streaky with the outrights and we need to get back on one soon here. So
we're gonna find one here.
Yeah,
this one we're due.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. We appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys are watching the replay, give us a shout out. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. See you guys.